Hey, yo! So for everyone watching this video and probably all of Genshin right now, we have seen the insane other leaks that came with Arlecchino, and one leak that I personally like and probably the most effective is the new kit switch up. I am currently in a very different environment, so I really hope you hear my voice well, but I really want to just make this simple and very understandable. If you guys have any questions on this video or maybe your account, make sure to leave a comment because I will respond to you guys as fast as I can. And it's the only thing I really do anyways. So, the first thing I want to include in this video is the new stuff that came with Arlecchino and what it really meant towards her. Her skill used to apply Bond of Life with healing, and instead of her burst giving her Bond of Life, she will reset the skill CD instead. This is a very big switch up because as it says over here, the skill used to give her Bond of Life and also the application of Blood Depth, which actually does heal her. Another change within her skill that I think is the most impressive is that the 15% Bond of Life that was gone from her skill actually changed to 25. The thing is, Bond of Life is everywhere for Arlecchino at the moment, and overall it just makes up a big percentage of her damage. I did also talk about Bond of Life in other videos, but her kit did get completely changed, so it would mean that she gets a lot of reworks in general. Another thing about Bond of Life is that majority of it did get changed, and the most effective one yet is the consumption. This has been actually lowered from 8% to 4%, and it will equally give you more damage before it even runs out. What the? Hello? The weirdest stuff happened at like 2 a.m. But seriously, back to the same topic, there is also a very effective buff that got towards her. And what I mean by that is her Feast of Red Death, which is the normal attack converter, going from 238% of the damage all the way to 280%. Whenever you reach 30% of Bond of Life on Arlecchino, all of her normal, charged, and plunging attacks will be converted to something called Feast of Red Death, which will basically infuse her weapon with Pyro and do 280% more damage. To add on with that, the next change is actually Feast of Red Death, and it basically gives more range to all her normal attacks. I think just adding two of those changes together will definitely break the AoE part of the game, and it will make her a very nice hyper carry. Moving on with Arlecchino's other parts, her signature weapon actually did get a buff, giving 18% more Bond of Life, and adding on 40% of the damage buff rather than the old 32%. There is a small sneak peek of how her signature weapon looks like, and I am gonna show this on screen right now. You can see how cool this actually looks, which from sight I already wanted. I forgot to say that another Bond of Life change that she got is buffing the bond's percentage going from 75 to 200%. If you guys have made it this long to the video and you really like my content, make sure to leave a like or maybe even hit the subscribe button. They are the simplest things to do and it will make me less lonely. The only people I talk to is in the comment section. Moving on with Arlecchino, her constellations also did get fully changed, and I'm including literally everything going from C1 to C6. Her C1 gives her a new effect of interrupting resistance of different opponents, and instead of your Bond of Life consuming after you use her burst, she will instead gain 8% more Bond of Life. I do have to point out that the consumption of Bond of Life is actually not that different from the old one I used to show, but the interruption to resistance is the newest buff right now. Her C2 is also very effective with her C4, which Arlecchino, after she uses her skill, will gain an effect on enemies named Blood Depth, but since this has ranks to every stack that you put on an enemy, this will give it the highest rank on one hit and apply 1200% more damage towards it. This actually went from 900% originally, which if you do the math right now, 300% more increased damage is just absolutely insane. Moving on to her C4, like I said again, this does connect to C2 applying stacks, but instead of just using her skill to apply it, she will have her burst doing it as well, and the enemy's pyro resistance will be decreased by 20%. All I'm gonna say is that effect itself will do all the damage that she needs to do, and just reading through all of these constellations that I set out so far is already good for her to have good constellation. The last but not least of this topic is about her C6, which all I'm gonna say is this got a pretty big buff, and this is just absolutely jaw-dropping. The crit damage buff that was originally on this did get up to 80% now, but the 500% skill multiplier did get replaced by increasing 2000% more damage towards her burst that scales off to the percentage of her bond of life. Just by reading this alone, you can already tell that she's a very big powerhouse, and she'll be able to deliver damage up in the millions if you know how to build her right. I really want to know what you guys think about Arlecchino because I did also have fun reading about her, and I also do want to point out that there is even more leaks that come in with her, which means that this is not the perfect end on her kit changes. So far at the moment, she got nerfed 2 times in a row, then immediately after that she got hella buffed 3 times. That is just a very inconsistent pace that makes her somewhat less likable. Also, for that whole entire session about her constellations and whatnot, the background was actually the constellation style that she's coming with, and this looks really sick, creating somewhat of a diamond, which does fit her in every way, shape, or form. Lastly, to cover up this video right now, I want to talk about the new things that are coming in 4.6, and just very minor add-ons. There will be a new expansion of Fontaine, which obviously includes Arlecchino as the main boss, and it will also give us hints and clues about a new region upcoming with that, formed in the element of Pyro. The sound of that at the moment makes me want to explore it right away, and just a very cool different add-on with 4.6. Another thing that is also coming very soon is the upcoming Phase 2 of 4.5, including some very nice top tier characters such as Kazuha and New Valette. I did make a comparison video on which one you should get, and I recommend checking that out if you are planning to pull for one of them. Wow, just look at that right here. Whoa, whoa, oh, hello? Oh, I'm 600 HP. Oh no! I'm dead. Now that looks way better. At least I'm not being attacked. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, or maybe even comment anything about this video. If you guys need help with your account, or maybe even this video especially, I will try to help you guys as fast as I can, and that's the only thing I really do. Sxyrax out. Bye-bye.